Sabir from Filmstro here with a new track update. This one's called GANI. And about this one, I want to actually tell you something about the way that Filmstro works, because this is a typical example of what happens in many Filmstro tracks, which is that we have one particular parameter, be it momentum, depth or power, which actually is the overall control for setting the different variety as well. What I mean by that is that quite often in music, of course, as you know, there's the difference between a verse and a chorus, for example. And if the difference between the verse and a chorus is that the chorus is more powerful, then quite often we might assign that to power, meaning that you can play the verse, dial in some depth for the verse, dial in momentum for the verse, and it's only when you change the power that it goes immediately to the chorus. However, if the difference between the verse and the chorus is that the chorus is significantly faster in terms of its feel to the verse, then actually we might change the momentum to bring in the chorus. And this is an example where we actually have no particular difference in terms of the momentum or the power, which is why we've put it on the depth. So there's a verse which has some momentum changes and some power changes, but it's actually then when you bring in the depth that it kind of switches on like a kind of B section, which is kind of a bit more moody, a bit darker. And so, yeah, so I just want to give you an example of that. So the best way to do that is just to play it back in the timeline, but just keep an eye on that depth slider and see that when it changes, that's when you'll actually hear a distinct change in the music as well, bringing in a really nice alternation between verse and chorus. Cool. And yeah, as I say, many tracks have got this, and in our new web app, we're going to eventually also indicate that and show you with some more UI, those kinds of things, just so you can get even closer to a great mix much more quickly without having to kind of stumble around and discover this accidentally. Excellent. Alrighty. Happy editing. So that wasn't actually fast enough there, so I'm just going to change that a little bit. Maybe kill that one. Just bring this node over a bit and have a little audition and see if that's better. That's much better. I had a bit of bleed left, and I could still hear a little bit of the verse as I came down back into the... Sorry, I could hear a bit of the chorus still as I came back into the verse. Again, in our upcoming web app, this will all be solved because we'll have transitions that you can apply to these areas, and they will automatically work really, really well out of the box. But yeah, more updates about that coming soon.